Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. I did a video where I was talking about Jordan, and I was talking about how the swing starts from the top down instead of from the ground up. But I'm gonna give you something. See, in my philosophy that I'm creating, in my philosophy it goes like this. And once again, from the top down. First, I build a framework. Inside of that framework, I build a setup. Inside of that setup, I build an address. So what I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you what I mean by building an address. And I'm building an address in the sense to where I can have a natural area or a natural plane, whatever you want to call it, to where the club can travel. See, for an example, our anatomy tells us everything. You know, in my philosophy, this is basically phase 4, phase 1, and phase 3 swinging in between the two. So here's how that goes. Now, if you sit and look at your hands, I mean, come on, man, this stuff is just right there for you. If you take a look at your hands are below your chin, and yet they're over top of your feet. And no matter what you do, they're always going to move that way. But when we stand in our basically anatomical neutral position, if I look at my chin and I look at my feet, look at my hands, they are outside of them. So now when I put my hands together, then all of a sudden, look, they're inside. They come inside. That's my cat sandpepper if you see it. But let me show you, for all of you that's trying to make your backswing and getting to the slot and all that, let me show you how simple it really is. And all of this came from my study of learning how the swing works from the top down to the ground. Now I just showed you, I'm gonna turn sideways, I just showed you top of my feet and underneath my chin. And I just showed you that the hands are naturally over here. So if my hands come to my side, guess what they cross? They cross the top of my feet and they move underneath my chin. So now all I'm doing in the backswing is just basically getting them to go right back to where they naturally want to go, which is across look at my hands. And the only difference is the left hand is getting to travel over there. Now watch, when I make a backswing, instead of just I'm not getting to the ball, it's going to get to the ball. What I'm trying to do is get them back on their proper angle. And here's that angle. Here's my chin, here's the top of my foot, because it's got to get there first. Bam. And see, this right here is the slot. It's not this where you're trying to get it in there. Here's your slot, because your hands are going back exactly where they're designed to go, which is underneath the chin and over top of the foot. And there, right there, is your slot. That right there repeats itself when you wake up tomorrow. I don't care if whatever you do. You wake up the next day, this is an action. It never, ever changes. I tell people how I define an action and conducive to like a feel. It's simple as this. Wherever you may be from, if I take my finger and I bend it like this, where you're from, you may think that's the action of turning off a light switch. Some may think it's wiping down a wall. Some may think it's like closing a knife. Whatever you want to think it is. But you wake up the next day, the action is exactly the same. So now you understand what I mean, that, you know, why I'm working it from the top down. Because if I worked it from the ground up, you can't find that slot because you're always going around it. You see what I mean? So you never get it inside you. You're always going outside you. So you got to make compensations to try to find it, try to figure it out. But if you do what the body tells you to do, the hands, they automatically go straight down, and it's underneath the chin and over top of the foot, and then it exits as it's supposed to. Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. I know I got it. Always good golfing.